One Piece chapter 860. Yo, this chapter was lit. Mad hype on Commander Katakuri. Now, before we talk about that, let's talk about the Tea Party guests. We got a double spread, and I don't know about you guys, but one of these guys looks so much like Crocodile. I feel like Oda was trolling on that part because Crocodile was also on the cover page. I still think we see Crocodile at the Tea Party because these guys were like the last people to show up. They were more underworld brokers that came before these guys. These guys were the last people that came in, so we're probably going to see those guys next week. So we've technically only seen 5 of them, and they're mostly like the most important ones, and the other ones, they just look crazy, and they're all like leaders of different section of the underworld. They all have dope design except the off-brand fucking Crocodile, bro, because he just looks like a ripoff. And Sparrow has one of the best control of his devil fruit we've ever seen. Apart from reconstructing Caesar's lab, he's basically made a long ass escalator to the Tea Party room in a span of like a second or so. So he is a hacks in his own regard. And it looks like the Big Mom Pirates have a thing for art, because Cracker also said something similar about being, really good at making things or crafting them with their devil fruit. And that shows they're really versatile with their devil. All of them in their crew. I think Big Mom is the most versatile devil fruit user amongst the Yonko. So there's definitely a theme there. Then we move on to the GOAT himself. Now they called him Dogtooth in this chapter, so I thought he was actually someone else. Katakuri apparently translates to Dogtooth Violet Flower in English. So that was weird because I thought he was called Potato Starch, at one point in the arc. I think back when Big Mom was saying like all 3 commanders are present here, they called him Potato Starch at that point. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's just a translation error. But yeah, this man has arguably one of the best designs for any Yonko commander right now. Yes, I have him over Jack and Ben Beckman in terms of design at this moment. I personally thought he was gonna look like a funky dude, but this dude actually looks fucking badass. Like he's definitely like epic. So yeah, I definitely get some right hand vibes from him, like just like Ben Beckman, Jack. I don't know if Jack is the right hand man, but Ben Beckman, Shiryu, he has that vibe. He gives off that aura of like a real top tier of a top tier Yonko commander. So yeah, man, there's definitely hype on Commander Katakuri. A lot of the community is gonna go crazy, bro. This man, people are gonna say he's stronger than Jack. People's gonna say, yo, it's just gonna start a fucking war in the community right now. But yeah, this man is definitely dope, and he has a bounty of 1,057,000,000. At first, when I saw the bounty, I thought it was 1.5 billion. Then I was like, whoa, what the? His bounty is way off the charts, but it was actually 1,057,000,000. So 57 million higher than Jack. And he currently has the biggest bounty in One Piece at the moment. And from this, I think that Jack isn't the strongest Calamity, but the second strongest. I think Kaido has one more person that's like stronger than Jack, because like Kaido's crew they're like a bunch of savages, and they definitely cause more problems than I think Big Mom's crew from what we've seen anyways. And I feel like Kaido has one more guy that's like maybe 1.3 billion, something like that. And Ben Beckman, it will be also up there as well. So I think the person with the commander with the highest bounty will be in Kaido's crew. But yeah, man, there's definitely some hype on Katakuri. Like I keep talking about this man because like this is too hype. Now Capone said that Katakuri is capable of seeing a little bit in the future with his observation Haki, because he trained it to that point. This is clearly an advanced version of it. Now I think Oda gave a couple of hints with Shanks and Fujitora. Both of them showed similar feats. There's the whole thing with Shanks saying when he was talking to Whitebeard, he said he was awaiting something. There's a final point in this era or something like that. I think that he saw something in the future. And Fujitora in Dressrosa, he said something about how the tides of the battle was going to change. So both of them showed similar feats for what seems to be some type of advanced form of observation Haki. And let's not forget about Madame Shirley, who showed the ability of foresight as well. She said Luffy one day will destroy the Fishman Island. And from this chapter, it looks like that possibly happened, because there's people around the world that have different types of the same Haki, but different lengths and levels of it. And there was also that one chick from Skypiea, I think her name's Isa. She could like sense everybody. Like there's different types of Haki and there's different levels of it. So this chapter was just like a confirmation for that. His introduction came with Haki feats and fucking bounty feats, yo. The hype on this man is real. And this basically spells out that Katakuri is the biggest problem for Capone's plan at the moment. Capone said he needs 5 seconds to pull off his plan. If Katakuri is around, that 5 seconds will not work, so he's definitely going to be a problem for the plan, because again, we don't know the extent of Katakuri's observation Haki. I personally think it's about 10 to 15 seconds in the future, not something crazy like, you know, 10 years, a couple of hours or something like that. Again, observation Haki is really vague. You know, Oda hasn't really gotten into it, so when does one use observation Haki? How can you tell when he's using it? But you know, this dude can apparently see a little bit into the future, probably a couple of seconds, and I'm guessing Capone has a backup plan about that, because he noticed, like he said, this man can see 5 seconds in the future. So Capone must have some plan to maybe take care of Katakuri. I don't see it, but you know, he's a smart guy. He knows this guy can see 5 seconds in the future. He has to have a backup plan for that. And we also get to see a better grasp of Smoothie's ability. She can apparently take the juice out of objects as well, not only like humans or like living things. She can actually take the juice out of objects, like she took a juice from a molten rock. So that kind of shows like her ability is not only limited to humans, or like she can probably like take it from a chair, like the floor, the earth, like that's really hacks. Like all of these commanders are really hacks. And Jinbei finally called Luffy his captain, so that's set in stone that he's joining the crew. But that scene might foreshadow Jinbei's death. Like when he was talking to Aladdin, he was like, I'm ready to die for Luffy, because you know, he did it in the past. You know, when he saved him from a Kainu, he was ready to die at that point. So I feel like Jinbei, he might be dying in the future, yo. A lot of people were saying this. And Big Mom's roulette, it turned out to be way more dangerous as a lot of people thought. A lot of people thought we were going to be taking 10 years off your span. It's going to be taking like 100 years. Apparently she's going to be sacrificing your crew members along with them. You know, 1,000 crew members, 10 crew members, 100 crew members. This woman, she's crazy. It's just like how Jinbei said in the last chapter that the will is basically made for you to lose. You know, it's rigged in a way. Like it doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna lose something if you spin it. There's no luck, there's no good thing that comes out of it. And that's just crazy. That just shows that Big Mom is, you know, she's definitely like a sadist in a way. And we haven't seen anything planned on the Vin Smoke side, probably because, you know, the homies were watching them, so they couldn't really say anything to each other. So they're kind of on the low right now, but I do think they still have a plan, and they're probably going to execute it at the tea party. Again, we don't know what the Vin Smokes are planning. They're just like pudding right now. They're vague. We don't know anything about these two parties. We know about Capone and Luffy and Jinbei, but I do think Sanji also told Luffy some other plan in case, you know, shit doesn't go as planned. So I feel like there's a lot of parties, and the tea party guests. A lot of people are like coming up here. Everyone has their own agenda. But yeah, this was a short chapter. I think it only had like 14 or 13 pages. But the good part is there's no break. But I'm not sure about that. I think there's like a Shonen Jump Festa thing, so there might not be a chapter next week, because every other shonen manga is going on a break as well. But yeah, Oda has gone 5 chapters in a row so far, which is good news for us. But you know, this was definitely a good chapter. I think it's a 8 out of 10 for me, because of Commander Katakuri. Like a lot of people have been waiting on this man. Like the hype on Katakuri is just crazy. I cannot wait to get on Brago's stream and talk about this man. But yeah, a lot of hype on him, and it is Pharaoh, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. Hype.